It's Tuesday, February 13th. I'm your host, Sarah Beal. On today's show, we talk to Consumer Affairs Supervisor Elizabeth Hartsgrove. The Bismore Park Welcome Center will be opening soon, and she fills us in on what we can expect this year. After that, Wendy Northcross of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce will join us. She tells us about this year's Cape Cod Travel Guide. And finally, we talk to Kristen Kibblehouse of the Cape Cod Regional STEM Network. But first, let's get a look at today's top headlines. A reminder from the Harbor Master's office, boating season is coming, so don't forget to renew before the deadline's passed. Deadlines coming this week are marina waiting list renewals. Those are due February 15th by 4:15, and the mooring permit waiting lists, those are also due February 15th by 4:15. And next week, mooring permit renewals are due February 28th by 4:15 p.m. For more information, you can go to townofbarnstable.us/harbormaster, or you can contact the Marine Environmental Affairs Division at 508-790-6273. The Barnstable Youth Commission will again be hosting their Community Prevention Forum and 7th Grade Youth Summit. The Community Prevention Forum will be held on Thursday, March 15th at Cape Cod Community College in the Tilden Art Center. The public is welcome to attend for a presentation and open discussion with a panel of Barnstable police officers on what the trends are, what you should look for, as well as a Q&A. The 7th Grade Youth Summit will take place the next day, also at Cape Cod Community College, with Dynamic Influence and Kevin Rosario presenting alongside with BHS Peer Leadership. There will also be presentations by many clubs, sports, and activities available when the 7th graders enter the high school in the fall. The Board of Health has announced that there will be a public hearing to review and discuss lifeguard exemption requirements. A public hearing will be held on Tuesday, February 27th at 3 p.m. in the Town Hall hearing room. The hearing will be held to provide citizens the opportunity to be heard. The current requirements for a lifeguard exemption can be viewed on the town website at www.townofbarnstable.us. A public hearing on changes to various permits and program fees that will take effect July 1st for the FY 2019 budget will be held tomorrow, February 13th at 10 a.m. in the Town Hall hearing room. Information is available on the town website, or you can find more information in the town manager's office between 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Coming up next, Consumer Affairs Supervisor Liz Hartsgrove. Liz, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Sarah, for inviting me.
We're going to talk about all things consumer affairs like we usually do.
Yeah.
First thing we want to talk about is what we talked about last time was the vendor contract permits for parking on Main Street.
Yeah, we were able to get one of the gateway greeters at the beginning of this week to go out and just advertise and do a little bit of just face-to-face contact and talking about it with the business owners. So, and trying to find some contractors that were out already and just spreading the word about the vendor contractor permits. So it's, so it's on a roll.
Yeah, what has the response been like?
It's been very favorable, actually.
Good.
So, and people have been asking questions, contacting our office, and then giving us some other ideas and concepts and things that we can look into further, which is great.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so it's been a really good community effort on
Excellent.
this. Yeah.
So we also want to talk about special event permits.
Yeah, that's a new thing that was added last summer because, as you know, right here in Hyannis, we have a lot of special events, and they mostly occur during the guest season from April to October. And it's really hard to find parking when you are participating in it and actually a vendor or somebody that's a part of the organization that's throwing the special event. So we have special event parking permits, and they're $15 a day for any event that occurs after Memorial Day. So, and we have designated locations that they can choose from as their top priorities, but we have to mesh it out and make sure that everybody is evenly balanced with parking. So, but it allows them to go beyond the extended parking time limitations that are in each individual lot. So
I'm sure that's really helpful.
It is. It has been, and we got some really good feedback from the events that actually participated last year with it, and it was really favorable.
Great. So if anyone out there is going to be having a special event, they're going to be a vendor at an event, or they're planning the event, they should definitely ask the Consumer Affairs Department about these special event parking permits.
Yeah, it's for the Hyannis area where we have the most congestion for parking and the most demand. And it doesn't guarantee, similar to the vendor contractor permits, it doesn't guarantee a space. It just guarantees that when you have it displayed properly, you will not get a ticket for overtime. And you do not also have to pay for parking in the metered lots that we have. So there are some benefits to actually investing in a special event parking permit.
If someone's going to be a vendor at an event, say it's like a craft fair, should they contact you or should they contact the person who's holding the event?
Holding the event, that's a great question, Sarah. Holding the event. So it has to be the event organizer that actually applies for the permits, and they can collect the money from each vendor, and there's several options that they can do. That's between them and their vendors, but for any event that, again, between Memorial Day and Labor Day is when we have those fees. And so they can just apply, but it has to be the event organizer, and so it's actually a really good win-win for everyone.
Oh, I'm sure. The people that are hosting the event, it's probably nice for them to be able to say, I've got these permits and this is where you can park. Hopefully there's space for you, but if there isn't, there's maybe there's some other places that they can let them know about.
Absolutely, and one of those locations is the Armory lot, which is required only by permit. So it actually is a benefit. We try to schedule any vehicle that has a trailer, so it's easy to pull in, and it's very safe. So because we have to also think of public safety when we issue these permits. So and keeping everybody organized. So it's a nice central location from the Town Hall Green to Bismore and Asselton Park. So, but yeah, it's a great permit to look into.
Wonderful. We also want to talk about, I know it's still February, but the Bismore Park, the Bismore Welcome Center, opening day.
It is right around the corner. it seems like a far distance away, but it really is not. Actually, the Harbor Master and the Welcome Center is officially kicking off the grand opening on April 28th on Friday. So it's ready to go. The bathrooms are going to be open. We're going to have it fully staffed, and we're all ready and excited. So, and in the meantime, we're we've got, because of the opening is 10 weeks away.
Right.
We're in the middle of just getting it ready. So that includes brochure sales in the Welcome Center. So that's available for any local business, nonprofit. So if they're interested, they can go to the website and then be able to have their brochures displayed in the Welcome Center. This past year, just on the clicker that our staff was able to count, we had well over 10,000 people show up over the course of the summer. And we had, I believe, 39 states represented and well over 25 countries.
Wow.
That just signed the guest book. So it tells you a lot that you reach a lot of people when you go and you advertise and have your brochures there, because they're looking at them, they're grabbing them, they're asking questions, and the gateway greeters are there to provide the information. So it's a really good thing to have in the community. I think that the Welcome Center down at Bismore Park is just, so many people go through that area, whether they're coming off the boats or going on the boats, or just people that are, exploring Hyannis. They follow the walkway to the sea, and it's such a beautiful location. It is. It's such a great spot to catch people, and so to have your brochure there is, I think, really important. It is very important, and we do have a lot of things going on there. So to allow people to enjoy it, we have the artist shanties, so people can go to do shopping. We have games there, picnic tables. We've got the cornhole game that was new last year, and that was wildly successful. I mean, there was not a moment that I went down there that somebody was not playing there. And we have a handmade scoreboard that was done by DPW. So it's a whole team effort to get this going. And it's just a wonderful thing. So when you advertise your business down there, that's a whole nother, presence for your business.
Wonderful.
It's great.
And as part of the, the Bismore Park Welcoming Center, you have some positions that are open. We have another gateway greeter position that's become available. So we're looking for people that are interested and really have a strength in customer service, and also local, knowing the area, knowing the complexities of different communities on the Cape, and historic and all sorts of trivial information is really valuable to this, adding to the team. The other one that we have, the position, is brand new, well, sort of. We rewrote the parking enforcement officer position, so that's no longer. We're not enforcing. What is changed to is a parking resource officer. So we're really trying to
just tailor it where it's assisting people, educating people, yeah, just helping people around. That's why we're here. We're here to help you park happy and not park angry and not park frustrated. It's parking happy in our community. So we had to restructure the whole position to just to complement it, what our mission is. And so those positions are available, and we're really looking for, again, people that have a strength in customer service, a strength in being a people specialist. That involves themselves with interacting with people and helping them.
Wonderful. And both of these positions are, out in the public. You're not trapped behind a desk. You're out there dealing with people every day. So I think anybody that's interested in that kind of atmosphere that doesn't want to be, isolated in one location, I think this is a perfect job for someone like that.
I think so too. Yeah, because it's all over the place. It's not just in Hyannis. It's all 7 villages, at least for the parking resource officer position.
Wonderful. Yeah. Liz, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Sarah.
I look forward to chatting with you again in a couple weeks.
Yay, thank you.
Thanks. My guest today is Liz Hartsgrove. She's the Consumer Affairs Supervisor here in the town of Barnstable. A quick correction on that last news story. The fee hearing will take place this morning at 10 a.m. in the Town Hall hearing room. Now, coming up next, Kristen Kibblehouse of the Kristen Kibblehouse of the Cape Cod Regional STEM Network, but first, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce CEO, Wendy Northgross. Wendy, thank you so much for joining us today. We have so much to talk about. Cape Cod Chamber is always busy.
Always.
Always.
And if it's not, we make it that way.
Exactly. The first thing we're going to talk about is very exciting. Your 2018 Cape Cod Travel Guide it's been printed and it's out and ready to be picked up.
Yeah, we like to say it's hot off the press.
Hot off the press, yes.
It is in our hands, and it's a real harbinger of summer. So while it's still 29 degrees outside, we are already thinking about beautiful summer vacations and people enjoying their time off here. And so we have our 2018 edition of the Cape Cod Travel Guide is in print. It has a digital companion. It has a digital website that goes with it, but it's beautiful. We have the iconic Race Point lighthouse is on the cover. It's kind of got this red, white, and blue feeling, and some great articles. So we're very excited about that.
Yeah, I was scanning through the press release about what you can find inside of it, and it is jam-packed with information for not just visitors, but it's a great thing that even local residents could pick up and learn about different things that they may not have known about, which I think is wonderful.
And it's even this year, one new aspect of it is we talk about living on Cape Cod. We talk about the fact that this is a great place to live, not just to visit. And we tell the interesting story of a woman, Meredith, who actually used to work for us. She went off to work for the YMCA in West Barnstable, but she and her husband-to-be went on the hunt to become homeowners, and we kind of tell their story and how that's working for them as young professionals on Cape Cod. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, we have a lot of residents that stop by our visitor center here on Patty Page Way in Centerville, and they come in every year to get our new travel guide so that they can have it like in their guest room, or when friends and family come to visit, they can just sort of hand it to them and say, here's the newest stuff, because every year there's totally different articles in the magazine and totally different information, and it's just a great resource for the whole year. So yeah, we invite people that are listening in. They might want to call us. We'll mail you a copy, or stop by and pick one up.
Wonderful. I'm very excited about A Scoop of Cape Cod. All different ice cream places to try, because in the summertime there's nothing more Cape Cod. I mean, it's definitely a New England thing. When you go on vacation to other parts of the country, it's not ice cream. Getting an ice cream cone is not the way it is here in New England. Going out for an ice cream cone is an event. It's not just something that you don't really think about. I mean, I think I eat more ice cream between June 1st and September 30th than I do the rest of the year.
Well, I think it really goes well with the beach, because you can get all drippy and messy and sticky and then just go splash in the water and clean yourself off quite easily, But we have a really fun map this year. We call it Sweet Spots to stop on Cape Cod, and there's 32 different ice cream shops. So that should keep people busy all summer long, just trying each and every single one of those 32 places.
It's amazing. I love it. I love that there's ice cream on every corner here on Cape Cod. The next thing we want to talk about is you recently were at the Barnstable Economic Development Commission meeting. What can you tell us about why you went to their meeting this week?
I did. So I was invited. Alan Feltham, the chair of the BEDC, invited me to come in, and I do this from time to time just to kind of give a state of the state from the Cape Cod Chamber's point of view, what we're doing on the economic development front. And it was a great conversation. I was able to bring some data sets about population and job center activity, where people work, where they live and drive to work from. And of course, Barnstable ranks the highest on that list. Barnstable is an employment center. And we talked a little bit about the blue economy. We talked about how the Cape Cod Chamber, while we love and value travel and tourism, we really are working very hard at this new, well, it's not so new anymore, but this concept of a blue economy and kind of doing a pivot of telling the story of all of our marine-related employment, whether it's doing research from Woods Hole or marine mammal protection from Provincetown at the Center for Coastal Studies, whether it's researching sharks at the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy, or working on wastewater cleanup and aquaculture, all kinds of activities that are directly related to water. That's kind of the new direction we think Cape Cod's going in. And the BEDC wanted to hear about that, and they actually want to hear more about that. So we're going to have a follow-up meeting soon to see, to try to drill down to specifically how Barnstable can support the blue economy.
Mm-hmm. And it's such an important part of living here on Cape Cod is all our water. It's everywhere around us. It's, the ocean, it's lakes, it's ponds, it's streams, it's everywhere. So I think that's important that there's a focus on that side of the business here of Cape Cod.
It's really true. It's what makes us special.
Mm-hmm.
It draws our guests here every year that want a vacation, and it was a reason a lot of us came to live here. So it is important, and it's important to continue to have access to water, whether to work or to play, and it's important to keep it clean. So there's a lot of things that Barnstable can do, and we're really excited to have a further conversation with them and work with the Growth Management Department, work with, the Town Manager's Office, and just really put Barnstable at the center of that blue economy effort.
Wonderful. The final thing we want to chat about is that there's going to be a networking event tonight at Cam Appliance at 6 o'clock. What can we expect at this networking event?
Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. We're doing it for the first time in a long time with the Home Builders and Remodelers Association of Cape Cod. They've invited some chefs to do some special dishes in the kitchens at Kitchen Appliance Mart right there on Route 28. And, parking's a little tight there, so we've made an arrangement with the Hampton Inn just over the line in West Yarmouth. You can park there, and Hampton Inn will shuttle people to and from Kitchen Appliance Mart. Starts at 6 o'clock tonight, and there should be, I think, as of last count, we had about 150 people already registered to show up. So
wow.
Kind of a fun thing to do tonight, go meet some new people, try some new things, and maybe scope out your new kitchen.
Right, and that sounds like so much fun that the chefs are going to be cooking in the kitchens there at Cam Appliance. I mean, what a fun idea for, how to serve food for this event.
Yeah, it certainly is something different than what we've done in a while, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. Yeah, so if you don't have any plans tonight, come on down.
Wonderful. Wendy, thank you so much for joining us today. Before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to let our viewers know about before I let you go?
No, I think I'll save whatever else we've got for the next time.
Wonderful. Wendy, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Sarah. Have a good week.
You too.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
My guest today is Wendy Northcross. She's the CEO of the Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce. Kristen, thank you so much for coming in and joining us today. You're back again to talk about some wonderful STEM stuff. You were the STEM events coordinator at 4Cs. We're going to talk about the Winter STEM Design Challenge, Cape Cod Cardboard Challenge.
Yes.
So what can you tell us about this?
So it's an initiative that the Cape Cod Regional STEM Network does. So the Regional STEM Network is branched on to 4Cs. And so this winter we are doing a cardboard challenge. So we based the idea off of the global cardboard challenge. So it was from a little boy in California that did an arcade out of his dad's auto shop. And he did arcade games through it, and then it became this kind of global boom. A guy came in and did a documentary about it, and now we have the global cardboard challenge. So we wanted to bring that to the Cape this winter because as this week is, it's snowing.
Yes.
So if kids are out of school, they can do it, but we're also doing it for their classrooms as well.
That's wonderful. I think it's a great project to have the kids that they can work on it. It's not like they have to get it done in a weekend. It's not like, okay, here's your tools, here's your thing, go. It's, it started back in January. It's going in through March.
Yes.
And there's all sorts of information on it on the website. Tell me how people can get to that.
Yep. So if you go on our website, which is the CapeCodSTEMnetwork.org, and then go under our news and events tab, you'll see the cardboard challenge there. You can click on it. It gives you, we have resources on what kind of materials you can use. If you would like to participate, you can participate, or then if you're doing it with your classroom, you can enter in, and then we are actually doing a grand prize. So we're giving out 3 grand prizes. So if your classroom has the best design or a really good way that you've demonstrated your design process, and we have a checklist of things that we would be judging you on, and you send in a video. We are giving out 3 free field trips to the Whack and Hammer's Clockwork Arcade right here in Hyannis, and it's actually a STEM-themed arcade. So buses will be paid for, and the field trip itself.
That's so awesome. I think that's such a great incentive to get kids to think about. The kids love arcades. There's something about playing those games and trying to, and all different kinds of games. So and that's what you're looking for. I mean, some of the, the ideas in here are skee ball and like a hoop shoot and things like that. So, I mean, any arcade game that a kid can think of, I mean, there's maybe they can figure out a way to build it with cardboard and all the other materials that they're allowed to use.
Exactly. And that's why we're calling it that's why it is our design challenge, because kids might be thinking, oh, I'm just building this fun game for me to play, but you're getting that design process in there of laying out your design, measuring, you might have trial and error. If something doesn't work right, then you go back and say, well, how can I fix this? What can I do differently? And then you get your end result of having a fun game to play then as well.
That's great. There's a strong emphasis lately on STEM. What are some of the goals of the STEM network that they're trying to do by offering these kinds of programs?
So by offering these kinds of programs, we're showing people that STEM isn't just this acronym that schools use to show the initiatives that they're doing. It is interdisciplinary. Everything does work together in the show, that it can be fun and it can be done in different ways that you didn't think of. So again, like building a cardboard arcade game. People don't think that's STEM, but it is, by, like I was saying earlier, measuring, designing, thinking about your processes of how you are going to do things. And then the STEM network, we, to help those initiatives go through, we do help with school programs like this one. We also then help with 4Cs college students as well on their career pathways through STEM, or if they want to transfer up to a 4-year school, then helping them with their pathway on through STEM.
Wonderful. I think this is a great project and a great idea, and I hope a lot of kids out there, give it a try, because you never know, and it's all trial and error, and there's no wrong way and there's no right way. It's just, do what you can and see what you can come up with. Get your hands dirty, get some cardboard and all the other tools that you can use, and have fun.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Kristen, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
My guest today is Kristen Kibblehouse. She's the STEM event coordinator for the Cape Cod Regional STEM Network. Now let's take a look at this week's community calendar. John Bonani, the editor of the Cape Cod Poetry Review, will be hosting an open mic at Sturgis Public Library tonight, February 13th, from 6 to 7:45. If you're a poet, fiction writer, musician, stand-up comic, ventriloquist, improv dance guru, or anything else that may require a microphone to perform, you can come on out and perform. If you want to just listen to a bunch of local talent and hang out, that's cool too. Audience members are always appreciated. Excerpts from the upcoming issue of the Cape Cod Poetry Review will also be displayed. For day of sign-ups, arrive on the early side, or you can early sign up by emailing sturgisreference@comcast.net, or you can call 508-362-6636 to reserve a spot. Now let's take a look at this week's board, committee, and commission schedule. Thank you for joining us today. We will be back tomorrow with an all-new show. On Wednesday's show, we'll talk to Police Chief Paul McDonald, Cape Cod Commission Technical Services Director Glenn Cannon, and Assistant Airport Manager Katie Service. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Beal.